Hi there, Dr. Brian here. Who is in charge of your health or your health? Is it someone else or is it you? If you stay here for a few minutes, I will tell you my thoughts. So what's health is the first question. Health I would describe as your ability to adapt seamlessly to the environment around you, both internally and externally. So when your body can adapt, you have agility and you have resilience. It means that you can cope with stress, you sleep when you go to sleep, you digest well, you're only aware of your body when it's having fun. It's an interesting concept. Think of the idea that health is enjoying every moment, enjoying all sensory input and actually having reserves left over. So it's all about this adaptability concept. Who's in charge of it? Is it you or is it the government? Is it someone else? Who is in charge of your health? You can have, if you like, let's say that you can invite different individuals in to be part of your health as a health coach, but in the end they can't do the health actions for you, you have to do them yourself. So I seek advice, I seek information from experts in areas where I don't know enough or I feel I can learn more. So I use Coach Ben Belkowski at MI40 for gym work and learning how to move best to get the best outcomes and be injury free. I look at all the information that's out there that is, if you like, part of this really enormous health understanding and health information. It's vast, and one of the skills is to be able to sift and sort on what is right for the best of you. However, in our part of the world in Australia, we have a third-party payer system called Medicare, which is a great system, and I benefited from myself when I ruptured both my quadricep tendons in a rather freak event and had to have surgery that was covered under Medicare, and I'm very grateful for that. And primarily that's where I see government, if you like, involvement, is at the expensive end of the process, the stuff that costs $10,000 or $20 or $50 or whatever. So basically the government can choose to be the backstop or the primary supplier of emergency care. I think that's a very honourable role for the government to fill, and I think that around the world a lot of people would vote a yes for that. However, are they supposed to then take on the role of ensuring you don't go to hospital? So they put a tax on cigarettes, they put a tax on alcohol, they mandate that you have a vaccination, they pay for all the medicines that you might take. And that I think is, and then obviously once you're in that system where they're paying for everything and determining what action steps you should take, whether you should have this test, and if this test reveals this leads to this course of intervention. A lot of it is not really, it's always after the event and change. It's not particularly, okay, well, we're going to give you 3 months of this drug, and at the end of it, if you haven't made the lifestyle changes that will actually help you to get better, then we step back and you're on your own. I would kind of welcome that. I think that we can use that concept as a bridge, and it helps you get yourself in order, and if it means that you completely ransack your pantry and throw out all the cakes and sweets and soft drinks and whatnot and then stock it with whole fresh foods and then you end up healthy, then I think that's a worthwhile thing. You're in charge of your health. It's your body, it's no one else's, and you could hand responsibility and the maintenance over to a third party, but now the golden rule, whoever's got the gold makes the rules, you've also given up a level of control over your body, and I'm not sure that's in your best interests. So it's quite a contentious area, and I'd be interested to hear what the bulk is of opinion is. So I believe I will create a small questionnaire that you can click, and it'll take you off to a questionnaire which will inform me about what people are thinking is the role of health and their role in their health. And because we don't measure health particularly by that adaptability principle, but we rather measure health by the presence or absence of disease, we've actually kind of got the shoe on backwards. So if we took it to another area, It's actually similar in motor safety, car safety, if you like, traffic safety. So, you know, the things that may or may not be working, actually we just double down on. So lowering the speed limit kind of works because you just you give people more time to react, but also you lower the impact speed and cars are much safer. So there's fewer deaths, but there's far more serious injuries that require lifetimes of care. Those people would have died, but now they're lifetime invalids. And I don't know if that's better for the individual. I suppose being dead is quite final, but being a lifetime invalid is not pretty fabulous either. So and so the thing with that is that if you want to sort of have better outcomes for, say, road safety, what if we just had a mandated sort of biannual driving test where you actually had to drive at speed, you had to do a crash stop, you had to swerve, you had to show that you understood the vehicle you're driving in and you were safe. And if you don't pass that, then you have to go and learn how to do it. There's, you know, mandated, in this case, you might have to come back in a number of weeks and pass that test. You, like failing your first driver's license, you come back and test again. So health and what's your role in health, my opinion is that we are individually responsible for our health. And as I look around at my age group, there's a bigger proportion who are actually walking along, dying slowly because of their daily choices. They don't eat healthy and well, they don't move enough. People come to see me, and one of the reasons we talk about is if I could get you out of pain and you could move better, we could actually get some progress in that weight loss and that better lifestyle. And that's I'm very happy to be part of that process, but I don't do the walking for them. So I'll give them help and guidance, I'll make their body ready for it, and then they have to do it. And that's very satisfying. You get a sense of accomplishment, and now you can achieve more. Your doctor will keep you alive till you're 90. I'm here to ensure that the next 20 or 30 years are actually enjoyable and worthwhile, and you can continue to contribute in your community and family at a high level. And I think that's a very worthwhile role for me in my community, and if I can spread that message to as many people on the face of the earth, I'd be very happy to do that, because there's no doubt that I feel that far too much of our resources, economic resources, are actually spent on keeping people sick. Now, there is a business model that benefits from that, but the whole community pays for it. So I think that it's time for all of us, and we look at how the last 12 months have been, we're being instructed what we should and shouldn't do, and there is a logic behind that. But what if we decided that we could take responsibility for looking after ourselves and be grown-ups and adults and actually just be in charge of our lives in a respectful and appropriate way, and actually look after each other from a, let's say, an honest, heart-led, caring space where we don't want to hurt other people, so we take appropriate actions ourselves. So, a bit of a wide-ranging chat today, but we'll come back to the idea: health, who's responsible for it? Is it someone else's job to keep you healthy, or is it your job, my job, to keep me healthy so that there's less need for whoever's in charge of the hospitals to look after me when there's a crisis? Okay. All the very best. There'll be some links below to some interesting things. I'd really love it if you'd take that questionnaire and help me understand better what you think about health and how we can help you achieve it. All the best.